following video is for educational purposes only. The company Goldies Incorporated is a fictitious company, and this network diagram is only for educational purposes in learning how to create Office Network. Thank you for your attention to this video. Hello, my name is Michael Proctor, and today we'll be looking at an enterprise network design. The company we will be concentrating on is called Goldies Incorporated. Goldies Incorporated was established or founded in 1972. Goldies was founded by Samantha Goldie, and her vision was to create sleepwear clothing for children and adults. Goldies is headquartered in Seattle, Washington, and its sister company resides in Boston, Massachusetts. So we have Seattle and we have Boston. Miss Goldie's company has attained a net worth of $38 million in intellectual property, including commercials in print, television, and social media. With this adulation also has arisen threat actors wanting to immerse their hands on Goldie's IP. Because of a lack of security on Goldie's computer network in 2022, Goldie was hit with ransomware, costing the company a loss of $2.5 million in revenue. Security One, which is our company, has been hired by Miss Goldie and her East Coast affiliate in Boston to secure its network design and apply the best security measures money can buy. Thank you for your attention. Now, this diagram is a network enterprise diagram, and if I can increase the screen, alrighty. We have a direct mirror from the headquarters area located in Seattle, and we are looking at a complete mirror of the Boston office also. So once we explain one side of the house, we will have explained all of the structure of the network architecture. So the first thing that we'll look at in our diagram is our patch panel / switch networks. Now, our switches are the backbone of our company in providing communication, and we use managed switches for VLANs, and segmentations of networks. So let me see. Managed switches offer several benefits over unmanaged switches, primarily in terms of security, control, performance, and flexibility. They allow for detailed configurations, monitoring, and management of networks, including features like VLANs, QoS, quality of service, access control lists, making them suitable for larger, more complex networks. On our switches, we'll also be using Fast Ethernet. Fast Ethernet, the wonderful thing about Fast Ethernet, it offers 100 megabytes per second speed. So, in compared to regular Ethernet, it's also cost effective and easy to expand, making it a suitable option for many applications. Fast Ethernet also provides reliable connections and is backwards compatible with the older Ethernet standard. And speaking of Ethernet standards, we are using in this communication, we're using 802.3 U as in union, so 802.3 union, and And this standard was introduced in 1995. And like I said, we have data transmissions of 100 megabytes per second, and it's great for departmental backbones, the high-speed servers, workstations, running bandwidth-intensive applications. Outside of our switches, we have several things that will be connected to it. We're looking at a wireless router. We're looking at, which I'll point to. We're looking at a VLANs, and we're looking at a demilitarized zone. So which one shall we start with first? We can look at our wireless router, and a wireless router will provide wireless communications, and especially for remote users as well, who are out of the office or who are an assignment at another location. So we'll use the wireless network is the most using the secure wireless network. For enterprises, we'll use an encryption method entitled WPA3. And this protocol utilizes certificate-based authentication and strong encryption, offering robust security for sensitive data. We were talking about Miss Goldie's intellectual property. Her intellectual property, her IP, will be secured under the WPA3 protocols. And let me see. And then if we look to our left, we have our VLANs. And I truncated this down into 4 VLANs, but we have more VLANs than this. And we have VLAN 1, which is accounting. We have VLAN 2, which is marketing. We have VLAN 3, which is human resources. And we have VLAN 4, which is advertising and design. Now, each VLAN, users in those departments will be compartmentalized into their departments and responsibilities with from the managed switches an access control list, which will give them role-based authorities in doing their job in their department. And then we move on to our demilitarized zone. And within the demilitarized zone, our demilitarized zone is like a protective castle. It protects the most sensitive data that's available. So number one, we have our backup servers, which each department in the VLAN will they'll make, for instance, they will make their documents or whatever pertinent information that they need to create. It will be stored on their network drive and backed up to a backup server as well within the demilitarized zone. Let's see. We have our DNS server, our domain name server, which translates IP addresses into the actual names. We have our DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, which will allocate IP addresses to all the Internet of Things that's located in the Boston area network. Anything that's IPable, printers, computers, laptops, so on and so forth. So then we have our SharePoint. Our SharePoint servers also. Our SharePoint servers will provide internal information such as department information, telephone numbers, contact information, so on and so forth. That's not or necessarily needed for the public to see. This is our own internal information that's containerized securely in DMZ, demilitarized zone. So we mentioned. Oh, I apologize. We also have our own separate printer VLAN. So Suzanne, who is in VLAN 2, she will scan her document and receipts or whatever she needs, and it will be stored on her network drive in VLAN 2 and also backed up in the demilitarized zone on the backup server. So even if VLAN, even if the computers or the server on VLAN goes down, we have our backup server within the demilitarized zone to save Suzanne's documents once she prints from the high-speed scanners. And like I said before, the printer VLAN will have its own separate VLAN and will be differentiated between the computers in VLAN and so forth. Let's see. So we have our remote wireless login, and clients. Well, not clients. Our employees, pardon me, our employees who are working from home or who are on a temporary duty to another location, such as Seattle, they'll be able to log into the corporate wireless router, and they will use they could use an encrypted service or authentication service like RSA, and we have two ways of protecting this laptop. We can do full disk encryption, or we can have it as MDM services. MDM, I have to explain what MDM is. MDM is stands for Mobile Device Management Services, and it allows organizations to centrally manage and secure mobile devices like smartphones and tablets, and also laptops. They enable IT teams to control devices, settings, and enforce policies as well, security policies, and track the devices. Now, if Brad is in the airport and God forbid Brad loses his laptop, the MDM, he calls into the office and say, he tells the IT department that he lost the laptop, and the laptop is lost here in the airport, and no one has seen the whereabouts of the laptop, and no one saw when the laptop was missing. So the IT will disable all services. What we call in the trade, the device will become a brick. So it will be useless to the person that took the laptop, and they will not be able to use it. MDM services are also great. The IT from his central area, either the Boston office or the Seattle office, he'll be able to load applications such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Draw, Point.io, QuickBooks, many other features. He'll be able to control on his side of the fence. So and mainly the laptop is receiving these services, and the employee is able to utilize the services of this. The wireless laptop will also be connected to a cloud backup service for branch offices and network segmentations. So I'll use Samantha. If Samantha is in VLAN 1, she goes on a trip to San Francisco, and her laptop hard drive fails. Whatever work that she saved will go on the cloud backup, and she'll have this information. Also, we talked about the laptop being stolen. Tom in the Boston office will also disable the laptop, making it useless, and whatever information was stored wirelessly on the cloud and the network segmentations. Also, this cloud service can also be used as a backup of a backup. So, for instance, information from the two DMZs can also be stored on the cloud backup in a location that's away from the two offices. If we have a natural disaster or some sort of occurrence that is detrimental to the company, we have information stored on the cloud backup, which is wonderful, and it saves the company money and resources and time, and the company can get back running in an expedient manner. All right, so we're coming back here. So we have finished discussing the wireless laptop, remote access, our managed switches, our VLANs, and our demilitarized zone, and our printer VLAN. We have concluded with this. Now we're getting ready to leave the switch, and we're protected by a firewall. From the firewall, we will have a VPN with encryption. And the most wonderful thing about a VPN with encryption is it's we can have network access control included on our VPN. Now, VPNs in itself are wonderful because we can disguise the IP address of our network, and we will not have anyone ping or scan or try to enter our corporate network and try to steal our intellectual property. Now, I talked about network access control. Network access control ensures that authorized and compliant devices and users can enter the network. It's like a gatekeeper. It only allows people of authorized authority to come into our network. And we have two types of access controls, network access controls. Pre-admission control, which this type evaluates access attempts before granting access to the network, ensuring devices and users meet security requirements. And our other network access control will be post-admission. And post-admission control, this type monitors and controls access after the device has been connected to the network, restricting lateral movement and preventing unauthorized authority. And let's see. So we're leaving the VPN and we're heading into the default gateway. And from there, we're going into our site-to-site tunnel. And our site-to-site tunnel also known as a site-to-site VPN. It's an encrypted link that connects two or more distinct network locations. So we have Boston and we have Seattle connecting and transferring information back and forth. So we need this site-to-site VPN tunnel, and it allows these locations to securely share resources and communicate as if they were part of the same internal network, which is wonderful. And connected to all of this is our wide area network router, and that is our traffic light, go stop stop go, and provides transportation access of data back and forth to the from the Seattle office to the Boston office. All right, so this is the conclusion of this video. Thank you very much for watching it, and thank you for your attention to this video. Thank you.